Frank, can you come up, please? Now, the reason why we're doing this is because if I, as an uke, don't make a distinction between the shield or wall energy and the spear energy, it's going to make it very difficult for him to connect with me in a meaningful way, okay, for us to explore this. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So, do any kind of Aikido technique that you want to do. Okay? Now, do the same thing again. Not easy to do without force, right?
Yes.
Okay, do the same thing again. Easier or harder than the first one?
It's actually easier.
Yeah, easier. Because now I'm giving him attack energy. Okay, this is what Aikido was made for. It wasn't made for, you know, doing against someone who's holding you off. It's meant for someone who's extending into your center. Okay, now what happened just then?
A lot softer.
Pardon me?
It sounded softer.
No, he knows what happened.
First thing wasn't really working, so I just went with the...
First thing wasn't working. What do you mean by that?
I had it in my mind to do something.
Yes.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I'm flying over here, and he's in the middle of a technique that doesn't need to exist.
Yes. Yes.
That's what happened, because what I first said is do a technique. So your mind got into a technique, and that carved out what you were going to do. And it stopped being, you know, it stopped being about me, and it started to be about your technique.
I see.
But still, my attacking energy, if I'm committed, so you had a little residual there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be there. So what I'm developing with what I'm working with here is a sensitivity, not to the feeling here, but to his intention. Right? I don't want to throw you, and I don't want to get lost in some technique that may or may not be appropriate.
Right.
You know, in a real life situation. I want to be able to recognize how you're flowing and how I can take care of you. I really want the loving protection of all things. The last thing, really, the last thing I want is to throw anyone, which seems odd in Aikido. But if I throw you, I have no control over what happens to you over here. Somebody could be in the way, I could hurt them. You could go into a chair or a table or something like that, you can hit your head. I don't want that to happen. I want for you to feel like we've completed something here. Oops, but I gotta watch myself too. So I'm gonna explain just what happened to me just then. Because I got super involved in you, my energy extended way out of balance myself.
Yes.
This is something I'm working on in my own practice. Connecting but not over-investing yourself. I want to send energy out to you, but in this regard, I want to keep my center too. Does everybody get that?
Are you projecting down every time that you're making a connection?
No, I'm projecting to him at all times. Watch what happens if I project outside of here. Oh, look, he's dancing around now. There goes my mic. Okay, but did you see how he stopped going? This is where this kind of knowledge, this kind of consciousness of your attacking energy starts to transform your partner's Aikido. Because all of a sudden, I start to become super aware of where my, not extending to him, but trying to do some technique. Oh, you're here, but I'm here. I need to be with you. You see? So if we go back to what we originally talked about yesterday, my model of understanding this is that we've got all this great ki flow coming up out of our centers. And he's looking for that because he can't find it through his own center. He can't find it through his own thing. So his ego is saying, find it out here. And he's like a cloud that's built up so much static electricity that it's ready to shoot to anyone. So what I want to do is I don't want to put up a blockade to that. He's not going to get what he wants, and what do you want to do now? Yes,
Switch.
Another attack, counterattack, because his system is saying, I'm not getting it, I need it, right? What about now?
Just over
Now you really want to nail me, right?
Right.
Because he can feel it all leaving. He's like going to go down the drain after it. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to give it to you. Suddenly we're transforming the Aikido into really the loving protection of all things. Because now this is love flowing. Right? So now, and how do I do it? With my intention. My intention now is not to anything. Defend myself. Look for an advantage here. That's my defensiveness coming up. My intention's not to move away until I can figure out how to deal with them. My intention now entering in and all that stuff is to really send this kind of nice thing to him so he feels safe and secure.